Welcome to NFT Rebels, the podcast where technology, creativity, education, and non-fungible experiences meet each other. It's me, Annie Alexander, and in each episode, me and the Rebels will have a real unscripted talk, share genuine opinions, and show raw emotions. Should we start? Hello there everyone, and welcome to the NFT Rebels. Today we're going to have a different episode. I'm welcoming to the studio Cyberium. You can't see much of his face, but it's done on purpose. So Cyberium, welcome.
Hi, hello everyone.
How are you doing today?
Pretty fine. A bit hot in this combination, but it's all right.
Okay, so yeah. I guess what we'll do is we'll start from the very beginning. You'll just make a very short intro about who you are, and then we'll kind of slowly dive into the main subject.
Okay. So I'm the artist for Monai. Monai is a AI generated project of 500 AI generated paintings. I also have a different project, ongoing project or already released projects such as the Cyber Expressionism series or wisdom.png that you can find on my profile as well.
Okay, cool. So I guess probably the most obvious thing we should start with is I guess why you're disguising. So yeah, I mean, I've touched these subjects with many different guests before, and there are two types of people who are kind of pretty open to show their faces, to share their personality, to go out there and engage with the community. And then there are other artists who prefer to be anons and not really share so much about who they are, and let their art to speak for themselves. I mean, looking at you at the moment, I mean, we know, I'm sorry about this. We know what the choice has been for you, and I guess maybe we should start by why did you make that choice, and why do you think that not showing up is a better option at the moment?
Okay, so like we discussed in private, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this as an anonymous person, or if I wanted to dox myself fully. But like I said to you, it's mostly because I don't want to justify what I'm doing in my art, and it's a way to not feel judged by my friends, my family, and everything. Because if you have pieces or artworks that are special, strange, creepy, sometimes they will come up to you and ask if you are depressed or crazy or something like that. So it's just a way to have control and to not feel judged on what I do, mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get you, because when I was writing my stories, I had like people come to me and asking whether, I mean, presuming that everything I write is basically either about me or about things that happened to me personally. So I get that, and it's always probably easier to share things that are kind of that, yeah, I mean, people don't know who you are, so you can have more freedom in terms of what you can do, I presume. So tell me about, like, I guess, I already discussed with you that we will be covering a certain angle that I think is very interesting. But before we get there, tell me about the whole NFT journey, because you're an artist, you obviously have done lots of stuff before the NFTs came along. How
Yeah.
did you discover the whole space, and was it easy to sort of to get into it? What was your journey, your entry point?
So I think I started investing in crypto back in 2017, something like this. Mostly got wrecked on my investment, and I just kept trading a bit. And so for the crypto part, this is it. Regarding the art, design, and creation, I think since my childhood, always had a connection to it. I've done numerous businesses, and I was always on the creative part. At least that was the part that I liked the most. So for some business, online business I did, I realized that the part I enjoyed the most was the website creation, or the branding aspect of it, uh, the visual aspect of it. So I only started to really consider myself as an artist in the last 3 months, I think, because I was mostly in the design part. And I think design and art are completely, not completely different, but have a different purpose. So
Yeah.
design is more about finding the most elegant way to find a solution to the problem, and art is just uh, interpretation, mostly, in my
Yeah.
point of view. So
Yeah.
uh,
True.
I think I only started my NFT journey 4 months ago, something like that. So I was hanging in some Discord, trying to learn the differences between layer one blockchain, layer two blockchain, and all the different tokenomic aspect of it, the utility aspect of it, and all the project that were at the moment. So then I just decided to do some art on my own and really take this more seriously. And I realized that there weren't any good AI project out there, because I didn't know about Deep Black and some other project. And I decided to do this collection and promote it in a thing in Discord.
Okay. Yeah. So about the, I mean, your first collection that you
Yeah,
launched on OpenSea kind of sold out, and I think the interesting part of it is that we keep telling, and I've been one of the people who kept telling, like when we were discussing this stuff, is that you absolutely need a community, you absolutely need to be an active member of the community, and you have to have kind of social media presence um, before launching or selling stuff, because who you are and kind of what you do and how you engage with the people in this space is part of the game and is very, very important. And in your case, basically you came in, and as far as I know, you didn't really have big social media presence and you didn't have a community. You were basically starting from scratch, and you went ahead by starting with the whole collection thing. So can you tell us, like, what was the journey like in your case, since it
yeah.
wasn't really how people usually start?
So uh, I didn't have a community back then. So I thought that the best way was to use to leverage another community, but that was not the reason I was in the community in the first place. This is just a reflection that came on the way. And the really important part is just you don't want to chill something to shield something in a community that and people don't know about you. You want to be an active member of the community, a respected member of the community, someone that can help the other and someone that is friendly. And it's also a good way to do a first test and see if people like what you do. So I before launching Monai, I share some artwork with the community, and they say that this was cool, this was different. So I thought, okay, maybe I got something. I rerun some new artwork and decided to really dedicate myself to try to do something uh, high quality AI generated artwork. Um, and I, I wasn't sure how to build a community fast enough and to have the necessary volume at the beginning. So I thought, oh, maybe it's a good way to put most of the artwork as free mint. That way, it's a bit like a snowball effect. If people start to buy something, even if it's free, and the volume is going to be noticed by everyone in the NFT space, basically, because they will see on OpenSea that there is a huge volume in one collection, and this can bring additional attention to your project. So
Okay, so yeah, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
so I think the free mint part is really important, but also the vision, the value proposition in a way, like the you don't want to put something free but that nobody wants. You want to put something that is free but shouldn't be free in a way, and that people see it as an opportunity, I think.
Got it. Yeah. So basically, from what I'm hearing, is that you don't need to have your own community. You don't have to have your own big community or your own kind of, big um, Twitter account if you are already an active member in other communities, and you can kind of tap into that, and it will feel organic and natural because you're not talking about your project being the first thing that you spoke about with these people you've been around for quite a while. So you don't need to have your own community, but you have to be part of some other communities at least beforehand. And you can use the freemium kind of option as something to provoke the initial kind of volume to go out to the market, and that freemium needs to have some value and people need to want it, otherwise even if it's free they wouldn't get it. Was it like the right conclusion, Star?
Yeah, I think there is two other elements that are important to mention is the market situation. I think if I did it like in this month or the months before, I'm not sure it would have sold out the way it sold out, because when this is a bullish market and people have additional revenue, have generated money, they are more eager to invest in more risky or more or different project. So I think this is important too. And another element is to have a collection that's bringing something different, and that is cohesive, coherent. So to have a good branding when you look at the Monai, even if the style is different, you know this is AI generated paintings, and the, it makes sense even if the style are different, because even if some are portrait or some are totally abstract, there is this kind of essence, the I don't know how to say this, but this unity, even in a diverse collection, because you don't want your collection to be too looking too similar as well, because if your artwork are too similar, for example, if you have 500 landscape and all the landscape look the same, it's not gonna be really exciting for the collector as well.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. So being different and doing something that others haven't done before, it sometimes it needs courage, and sometimes it's not very easy to do because some people are very cautious because there is a risk there, right? You don't know how it's going to go. Do you think that by being unknown, it's easier to take those risks as an artist, or it
Absolutely,
doesn't really matter?
absolutely. Uh, I think the main reason I decided to launch Monet in the first place also was that there was no high uh, high risk involved. Not only I'm not talking about monetary risk, but just as a business
Reputation risk.
person or an artist, because having unsold project can hurt your reputation and your and the
Yeah.
trust of collector of you being able to have a collection that are going to be sold out, because ultimately the something that is really important is to represent a good investment for your collector as well.
Yeah, got it. So, the collection that was sold out on OpenSea, like we mentioned why it worked out and kind of how you were starting without your community in place and all that stuff. For context, for people who are watching, just do you want to highlight like what was the volume, what is it about, like what kind of what success looked like in that sense for that collection specifically, just for
Uh,
that, for people to understand the scale of it.
yeah, so I was absolutely not sure that it was going to sold out in the first hour, so I haven't even finished listed all the paintings, because I was going to bed. It was maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, and I just published a little announcement in the Chill channel after asking the Fang Gang artist if I could put something in the Discord, and then the volume went really crazy. I think it got sold out in the first 3 hours. We are talking about 500 paintings, and then the secondary market was also crazy. And I say we, but I was alone. The project made, I think it was 80 Ethereum volume on the first day. So
80, 80.
80, yeah.
Okay, cool. So when you said freemium, did you give away everything for free and then the volume came from the secondary sales, or how did that work, or you gave just part of it for free?
I don't remember the exact number for the free and the paid one, but I think initially I wanted to do 400 free and 100 at 0.05, I think. But when I saw the volume and I took some feedback from friends, they told me that the unlisted one, I should just put them at the min price, just to to capitalize on the volume, which was an ethical thing to do, I think, and a good way to generate volume as well, and to keep to not kill the snowball effect.
Hmm.
So I think maybe it was more in 300 were free and 200 were to buy, something like that.
Okay, got it. So yeah, I mean, it's very impressive indeed. Like, for someone who's starting out right away, because like, when I'm thinking, and when I have been, I had conversations in the space recently about the fact that I really want to help unknown artists who are not on social media, who don't have any presence, who don't have a community, to get into this space. And it felt like, most of the people had this sentiment that there's no way that it's going to work out unless the collectors know who the artist who is, and unless the artist is already kind of, has his own community and presence and followers, etc., etc. So kind of, your story sort of proves the opposite. And I do get that the market kind of conditions were slightly different than a few months ago rather than now, but still it feels like it's kind of showing that you can do it differently, like from the usual paths. And it can work out at the end, and work out pretty well, maybe way better than for some who are out there and showing themselves and are very active and have massive Twitter accounts. So this kind of shows a little bit that, yes, I mean, you do need a community, but maybe it doesn't have to be your community. You just need to be part of a community or several other communities. But now, as far as I know, you do have your own community at the moment already, right?
Yeah.
So how important is your community now, with, now you're launching new collections and you're moving forward and trying new things? So what is the role of your specific community, and how big is it, and how you have structured it, and why did you decide to build it nevertheless?
Uh, I think the one important thing to know is that most of the Fangster, so the people that collected Fang, I consider them as my friend, and some of them are big collector of the Monet collection, and I felt a really big sentiment of responsibility for them, and that my reputation, even if I was an anonymous artist, was on the line. And I consider myself as an ethical person. I really love the Monai, so I really want to push the project as much as I can. So I think in the next day, the first thing we did, we launched Discord and did some necessary project management aspect for Monai, and really try to have a place for this community, this growing community, and to be able to build upon this organic launch that was totally unexpected. And so right now we are a team of five or six person. So shout out to my team, by the way. They are amazing people. It's a completely new team, because at the beginning I have gone with some people, and the it's difficult to have the right team uh,
Indeed,
in
yeah,
the NFT space, and it's
yeah.
one of the most important things, because everyone is anonymous, so you have to find people that share the same value and work ethic as you. And so right now I have a wonderful team, and I'm really grateful for it. Regarding what we are doing, we have a community. I think we have 600 or 500 people in the Discord, which is not much, but it's mostly like a family. And I think it's important to have this kind of, even if it's small, I mean, the size is not really the quality aspect of it. You have to look at the more qualitative characteristic of your community. and I know the name of a lot of collector. I respect them, and I want to honor their engagement with my project and with what we are doing here. And even if we face a lot of challenges in the last 2 months, they are still supportive of what we do. So I wanted to thank them as well, because things can become difficult when you are a project manager, and shit
Yeah.
happen, you know.
Okay, so in that case, like when you compare, I mean, in the beginning, you started by a completely different route. You were all by yourself. You were doing everything on your own. You didn't have a community. It worked out pretty great. Now you have a completely different situation. You have resources. You have a team. You have a community already in place. So when you compare those two situations, how different it is, like how do you feel about it, like in comparison, like wow, if you put them together, how do you feel about both? Is there any
Um,
preference about it, one or the other, or just how do you feel about that?
we started to build the community just the day after, so I don't really I can't really imagine Monai without a community, but I just could have made those Ethereum and mostly go away and let it art project. But I really want to push this project in art galleries in the metaverse, and really try to bring a new innovative aspect, and have a really active community of collector and as well as artists. So this is really, really, really a lot of work, a lot of it asks a lot of coordination between the team, and but in the end, this is my goal for Monai. Monai is not just a art project; it's more like the first people that believed in me as an artist. So uh, we we want to not only to build another collection, but for example, we have the next week we are going to do some podcast. I'm not gonna host them because I'm not the most fluent in English, but my team is gonna host have some amazing artists that are interested to talk about their craft and their art, their story, to share it with the community. So the goal is to become something more than just 500 painting on the OpenSea website.
Yeah, got it. So I mean, we spoke about the success part. Did you have any failures along your journey?
Yeah.
Anything that didn't work out the way you planned? Any obstacles? Any challenges? Because, like, I just don't want this to sound too good to be true, kind of thing. Because it felt like it was a very smooth sailing, and I just feel like usually that's not how it works.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of uh, down moment, not only mentally, but it took a lot to have the right team to support the project, and the management aspect, the team management aspect was really, really difficult, because you spend a lot of time asking, trying to get people involved in the project, uh, and this is usually not going to go well or according to how you want it to do. So especially when people are working on several projects,
Mm.
and you want to deliver a lot, you have a lot of ideas that you want to execute well, and it doesn't go as planned, so it was disappointing. and it's really time consuming. Like I told my team, in the last 3 weeks, I didn't sleep one night in my bed. I only slept on the couch because I just fall asleep here in front of my computer, and I just woke up and start working again. So it the last 2 months were not the most healthy uh, period of my life, but when you really
Uh,
want to do something great,
I
you
think
sometimes
many will
lose the
resonate
balance.
with the not enough sleep component. It feels like it's a chronic disease among most of the NFT artists out there because there's so much to do. When things don't go according to a plan and don't go as you know, don't go so well, what is your way of bouncing back? What is like what keeps you going and not giving up?
Uh, I don't know. I don't really think about giving up. I just think, okay, this sucks, but I'm going to find a solution, and we will find something. And I have also people that are supporting what I do, and I have friends, and uh, we just support each other to go through difficult moments and to have some insight about what may have gone wrong, or how can we adjust this. And that's basically it. Like we launched wisdom.png, that is another collection for me, that we put free to mint, mostly free to mint, and it was a way to for the it was for the Monai collector. They were the first one to get the information, but we did lots of marketing and promotion in various way and the way we could at the time, but the collection didn't sold out for numerous reasons. First of all, it was not one, so each artwork were edition of 20, which is more difficult to sell, and because there is not this uniqueness to the artwork, even if it's good, if the concept is great. I think the concept of the daily reminders collection is really different, really simple, but effective at achieving its goal. But it didn't work out the way we or I expected. So yeah, it was disappointing. But the next day we start working again on the new project, and I don't really think about giving up, and I engage myself to to be an artist and to be a good investment for my collector, and that's the way it is basically.
Awesome. So many people kind of talk about this new need. It's not a new need, but like it's becoming more and more important. The utility of the NFT, like the utility for the collector and the value of it, and what the collector is getting out of it. And usually, like people are thinking about ways to offer more than just the art itself,
Yeah.
and are creating more kind of more, adding more elements to it and coming up with different ideas of what else can they provide and offer their collectors. Do you have any of those components? Like, what is the utility of is it the art itself, or have you come up with anything else on top of it?
So at the first day, there were no utility per se. It was just the art. And when I took the decision to take this project to the next level and to build on the Monai brand, I decided first of all that every Monet holder are going to have a free mint. So the utility is basically going to be to have more art, but also in the next collection I added some narrative aspect, a storytelling aspect. So there is some theme, and there is a story that you can build, that you can uh, reunite based on the team, and those teams can be used in numerous way. And because I'm always thinking about what is it going to be in 2 or 3 years. So the team can be used in the metaverse to have some 3D spaces dedicated to this team, or the story can be published in a different way than simply being painting on the blockchain. Also, for the Money Universe collection, we have this burning mechanism that is going to be you take 5 monai and you can merge them into a new artwork that is called an animated monai. And this is a bit the idea of trying to find new utility along the way, but not utility that makes sense for an art project, because the end goal is mostly to be a premium brand, to be able to go to art gallery and to be one of the first mover in the AI generated movement on the blockchain. So uh, I think utility is is tricky to implement, but if done right, it can be a huge benefit for both the collector and the project as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's if done right, it can be like really exciting component of the project itself. I mean, you're dealing with so many things. I mean, now you have a team, but like managing the team also takes time and stuff like that. So, how are you making sure that you are prolific and you continue creating art among so many other things?
Yeah, because one thing that most people don't know is that I'm still a student, so I have also this part to manage, which is difficult because, for example, I have my exams in 2 weeks, so I also have to manage this part. And I decided, so I still live at my mom, which is funny, but I decided to put money in an office. You can call it a art studio or something, but it's just time management need to be really good, because I work between 15 hours. I can work more than 15 hours a day. 3 hours for school, 7 hours for Monai and related projects, just the management part, or the art, or the website development, or the contract, all that kind of thing. And I try to do at least 4 or 5 hours of art, just to upgrade my skills. And I usually do that after I've done everything for the day, and fall asleep doing that. But that's not the this is an exciting moment when you do art, so it's not really the best activity to lead you to a sleepy phase.
Okay, and then few hours sleeping on the couch, basically. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so for people who are kind of in this space relatively new and are getting into it and are just starting, what would be your advice? Like, where do they start? What do they do? Like, they just got here. So now what?
Uh, I think you have to spend at the very least 2 months to understand the market, understand NFT dynamics, mechanism, what people are looking for, why is it hot right now, the history, why CryptoPunk are such a big deal, why some artists like Beeple have made it, because there is a lot of hidden reason that you can find if you do the correct amount of research. But yeah, I think the marketing part is also important, but not marketing in just a promotion, but also the pricing structure, the supply, the branding, the how can you make something that looks good, that is aligned with a vision, that is not too confusing. Why people you want people to understand the project really quickly, because if the utility and the concept is too complex to grasp in a minute, some people will just lose interest if it's not intended, because some project can on the other side play on that complexity and do something that is mysterious, something that asks to solve some problem, and that is not simple and play on that, but it has to be intended. So this is two advice I would say. And also for the story of Monet, I would say that the reason I share it is not to make people think that they can do the same just by putting some artwork and share it in community. It's more you have to have a product in a way that is sufficient enough to market itself, and to really think about pricing, about the branding and everything, and not just the marketing and the number of followers, I think.
Got
If
it.
that makes sense.
No, it does. I get it. So to wrap this up, I would like to sort of, to go back to where we started. If you look at your collection at the moment, at your project at the moment, putting the same things like as if everything else is equal, like, you have a product, people like it, it's visually appealing, it has a utility, etc., etc., like everything that you have, putting at the same level. Do you think if you were not Anon and were out there as kind of, out there with your real personality, would you have more or less chances to succeed?
Hmm. Uh, I think it depends also if your personality is aligned with your project, because sometimes I will look at the artist, and I will not match on a personal level with him, because with him or her, and I will not make the decision to buy the art just because I don't match with the person, not because I don't like it, but it's just emotional, and sometimes I will just buy the art of someone because I really like his personality. So I think you have to take that into consideration. If your personality, if your personal branding is strong enough to support your project, because personal branding can be difficult, especially to have it completely aligned with what you do, and so
So are you saying that if someone is a likable person, people might buy from him or her just because of that?
no, it's not likable. It's more appealing for the person, because somebody can be likable, but I will not relate to him on a personal level, or simply I think, yeah, that just like that. If the person seem to,
Yeah, if he resonates with you, then you're more likely to buy from him.
yeah,
That's what you're
if
saying.
he gets my curiosity, or if I really like his story or her story, uh, this is going to be an advantage. But if the person is not really the type of person I would match, or I don't really like the way he promote himself, or it doesn't really resonate with me for any reasons. This could be a potential loss of interest for me.
Got it. Okay. So to wrap this up, any last kind of, thoughts, ideas, anything you would like to share with the audience before we kind of,
Uh,
part
yeah,
ways?
yeah, I think I really want to say it again, but I have a number of people that reach out to me to know how to make the same success as Monai, and that try to replicate the exact same variable, the price, the timing, the idea of going into a community. But it's not a proof of work. It's not gonna work 100% out of time. The It was natural. I didn't join the community to promote my art in the first place because I had no idea I wanted to be an artist when I joined the Fengang community. So um, I think you have to find your own way, not trying to replicate the same as Monai because it's not gonna work. Mostly not gonna work. But really, this idea of putting something different, or something really good, or something that people want at a lower price that they would be ready to pay. So if it's free and they would have buy it for 0.1, this is going to sell. But yeah, that's the idea. Just don't do art and try to share it in a community in an ethical way, because this is less than likely to happen. That was
Oh yeah,
that.
definitely. You'll just push people away if you do that, for sure.
And I want to see also to thanks everyone in the Monai community, as well as the team, because I met amazing people during this journey, and this is the best thing that happened in my journey, more than the monetary gain, and the fact that I believe I can make it in the artwork, and with enough work, and it, I don't know how to say this in English, but work ethics, and really try something new, different, crazy, and all that kind of thing is because of them, because they believed in Monai, in myself, and it means a lot for me, and I really respect that, and I want to to say thanks for that, because it's not nothing for me, and I know this story can be inspirational for others as well. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk about it.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you very much for your time. It was really interesting to sort of, follow your story and see how it worked out, and why it worked out, basically. And I do agree, duplicating that success or doing exactly what you've done won't really bring the same results, but finding out the reasons behind the success, and which components and what might have helped you get where you are, I think is useful for people to see, and kind of also understanding that there are challenges on the way, and even like in comparison, relatively smooth journeys is still not completely smooth, and it's not an
Absolutely
overnight
not.
success. And as a minimum, they have to be willing to sleep on a couch for 2 months, and that, so that by itself is already kind of, not very easy. So yeah, I mean, thank you very much for the live stream. Would you like to join Twitter Spaces after this, or should this be a wrap? Like, how do you feel
I
about
just
that?
will look at the time. Yeah, I think. How long does it usually last? As
I
much as
mean,
I want.
yeah, absolutely. It depends, like, who we will get on board, and yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
I'm up for it, so I can maybe
Okay, so
reply.
yeah, so whoever is watching from my community, from Cyberium's community, I'll turn on Twitter Spaces right after we finish this, and you're free to come over and speak directly to the guest. So I'll see you there.
Can it be done in 5 minutes?
Yeah, it can be done in 10 as well.
Perfect.
So
In
just
5
tell me
minutes.
when, and I'll. Okay, in 5 minutes we'll be there. Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks a lot.